So students, we had completed first two sessions in the chapter entrepreneurial skills. Today we will start with session 3. Okay. So we will see session 3, and if possible we will also cover session 4 in it. So let us start with today's class. So we are beginning with the third session, qualities of a successful entrepreneur. We had already started with this. Can you think about business persons from whom you buy things? Now, just take a look at this image very carefully. And so just think about any one business person in your locality whom you appreciate and just note down some qualities of that person. Okay. It should be like this. Okay. So think of any person and you have to tell us about the quality, one very essential quality of that person. It can, you can have also specify more than one qualities also, and you have to also give an example showing how what makes you think that this person has this quality. Like this example over here: wakes up at 3 a.m., comes to the customer's house at 5 a.m. to give fresh milk. Right? This is an example which demonstrates this quality, that is hardworking. So you have to also think of that. So any one person, any one self-employed person in your locality, you have to just visualize that person in your mind, list out the qualities and also give an example.
Ma'am, other than the milkman, we can see the sweepers.
Okay. What quality do you find in them?
Ma'am, they are also very hardworking.
Yes,
And
of course,
by
hardworking
their
is there.
helping, ma'am, they are coming every week or ma'am after every 2 or 3 days to
Okay.
ma'am sweep the whole colony and ma'am every street.
Okay.
And ma'am, if anyone has to give them some extra work, they are ready to do that also. They never,
Yes. Hmm.
ma'am, they are never telling no to anything.
Very good. Yes, one of the very important qualities. In fact, in my locality, these sweepers, they come every day, whether it is winter, whether it is summer. Okay, and even they are there because of this Swachhata Abhiyan. Okay, because of this cleanliness drive in which is going on in MP. These people, even they clean the streets in the middle of the night, that is 1:30 p.m. 1:30 a.m., 1 a.m. Okay, you will even find these people sweeping the streets at that time. So these people, they don't worry about the environment, they don't worry about the weather, and they are tirelessly working to keep the surroundings clean. But even then, the people are not listening. There are some irresponsible people in every locality who are still disposing the garbage anywhere. Okay, so that is something which really we people also should understand, and we should also contribute to uh, a cleaner society. You might have got recently got one survey form, a link on your WhatsApp groups. Okay, so just filling that survey form is not going to serve the purpose. What is going to serve the purpose? That what are we doing, what is our contribution, what is the contribution on our part which we are doing in order to protect the environment. Very good, Neon. Good example of someone other than the milkman, and a very basic thing at that. Very good. Yes, Devyansh.
Ma'am, in our locality, the man who comes to give us newspaper, ma'am, he is also very hardworking. He wakes up earlier, and from six, ma'am, between 6:30 to 7, he provides us the newspaper.
Okay, from between 6:30 to 7 he gives,
Yes,
you
ma'am.
get your newspapers. Yes,
Yes,
very
ma'am.
good.
He is never late. I notice every day, ma'am. After 7, he, ma'am, never comes.
That means it is the punctuality and
Yes,
regularity is
ma'am.
one of the
He is very
qualities which
punctual.
that person has.
Ma'am, I want to about the person, about the people who during this pandemic, ma'am, come to check whether you have a symptom, ma'am, in each and every colony as well as each and every house, ma'am, they
Mhm.
doesn't care about themselves, but they also working for the other people to be very well in there. it should be very they are very hardworking, as well as they do not care about much
They
or
are
their,
selfless. Yes, they are
yes.
selfless. That is, they are not, the opposite of selfish is selfless. And moreover, they are brave enough. That could be counted as one quality. They are brave enough risk their lives and to check up on good example by G Krishna, which was heavily observed during this pandemic time. Many people volunteered to do this work. Even in our school, the Scout and Guide department, you all might be aware, you might already be familiar with, Abhilasha ma'am. She has been tirelessly working in this direction. The entire pandemic, the entire Scout and Guide department has been cooking food, supervising cooking of food and distributing it to the poor people. Okay, so that was also one thing. They did not care about the pandemic, they did not care about their own lives, and they just kept on doing this tirelessly. So yes, that is also one of the very good examples. And there is a thin line that distinguishes an entrepreneur from a traditional business person. Like, take a look at this example here. It's a very good pictorial example to understand this difference. A businessman will buy watermelon. Okay, the street side vendor, you might have seen the fruit sellers buy watermelon for $1 or 1 rupee. Just imagine that this is rupee, and sell it for 1 rupee 50 paise. What will the entrepreneur do? Will buy the watermelon for 1 rupee, but then he will turn it into watermelon juice, okay, and then sell it for 5 rupees. So this is what an entrepreneur always thinks out of the box. A traditional businessman will always move in, will never come out of his comfort zone, and whatever he just his main idea of doing the business is to earn profit. That's it, and keep a steady flow of income. He doesn't want to change his product line. He doesn't want to think of something else. He doesn't want to incorporate new ideas. Only thing, whatever he has been doing, he wants to continue doing that. But an entrepreneur always takes calculated risks, always formulates new ideas. Okay, he is filled with creativity. He uses his creativity and inputs some innovation into whatever he is doing, right? So this is the difference between a businessman and an entrepreneur. So we'll understand this better with one another example. Who is a businessman? You can see Ramu is a chai wala, is a tea seller who is selling tea near a busy bus stop. Okay. These images are not actually, they don't depict the actual people. These are just symbolic images which I have taken for a better understanding. He earns a lot and makes a good profit. Obviously, uh, a hot cup of tea in the morning, nothing can beat that. I hope you all agree with this. The first thing, you get up in the morning, brush your teeth, okay, freshen up, and what you need, what you crave for is a cup of tea. This also, you might have also noticed this while you are traveling in a train. When people wake up first thing in the morning, they want is a small glass or a small cup of tea. So the tea sellers who are operating or selling tea in the trains, they are the ones who make the maximum profit. Okay, they may not, it may not appear looking at them, but they are the people who are gaining maximum profit. He is a traditional businessman because all he does is just sell tea, make tea and sell it. That's all. He doesn't think of anything else. Who is an entrepreneur? On the other hand, we'll just take the example of another tea seller and we'll see how that person is an entrepreneur. Now, Rani also started a tea stall on the roadside. She decided to sell different flavors of tea, just like expensive tea parlors in the mall at a reasonable price. You might have seen this image over here, which I'm circling right now. Tandoori chai. You might have seen this many a times on YouTube, food blogs or other sites also. You might have seen it. Just give me a moment. I'm just going to keep this. You might have seen that on various food blogs, like tandoori chai is a special type of tea which is actually again brewed in a uh, heated earthen pot. Okay, an earthen pot is heated to red hot, and then the tea is poured into that, so you get a smoky flavor. Okay, so tandoor is like it's a oven. From anything cooked in that gives you a smoky flavor. Okay, distinctive smoky flavor. So that is sought after by many people. Then different types of teas are there where different types of herbs are used. Okay, you never say herbs; it is always herbs when we pronounce this. So different herbs are used in order to prepare different types of tea. Like you can see in this is green tea, distinctive green tea. This is some other type, lemon tea is there. Okay, then you have black tea, you have chamomile tea, you have the Kashmiri kawa, as you can see. Okay, her clients vary from daily wage earners to actors and politicians because of her unique idea. Daily wage earners will always opt for the usual kind of tea, okay, malai marke ya fir doodh wali chai, okay, the milk tea which we prefer. Okay, but there are people who come from different, who belong to different classes of the society, and they may, some people, some health conscious people might go for green tea. Some people who want to calm their body and mind, they would go for chamomile tea. The Eastern culture actually is something which is very, they have a lot of varieties of tea. So Rani, what she did was she learned how to prepare these different types of tea, and hence different people, they have different tastes. So she serves tea according to those different tastes. She is an entrepreneur. So can you get the difference between the two? Can anybody tell me how can, with these two examples, how can you differentiate between a businessman and an entrepreneur? How can you say that Ramu is a businessman and Rani is an entrepreneur? What is that one distinctive thing which you noticed in these two examples? We have been noticing people selling tea. They follow the traditional approach, right? But she put some new idea into it. She brought and she innovated the concept by giving a lot many options, so that such that her clientele is not just limited to the roadside people or the taxi drivers or the lower class people, but also it is expanded to various sections of society according to their likeness. Okay, so that is what she did. She extended the clientele, the client base, to different sections of the society. An actor would never approach a chai wala who is selling tea at the side of the road. Even we won't prefer doing that unless we are students who live in a hostel nearby, and mostly boys are the ones. You would find men and boys who are crowded near the tea stalls. Okay, so but you will hardly find women over there, right? That is because of the atmosphere which is created over. Rani is more creative. She put a lot of creativity. She thought of something, that why not try to sell, make this in a better way, try to sell different types of tea. There is Kashmiri kawa also, so all the Kashmiri people who come here to study, okay, the students from Kashmir who come, Jammu and Kashmir who come here, they could easily get that option, so they would also be added to her client base. Then there could be some people who are like politicians who go for some other variety, exotic varieties of tea, they could also be added to her client base. But all these people would not go to the regular chai wala, that is Ramu. Okay, so this is the reason. An entrepreneur can, if he carries out the things in a good way, good manner, he could actually make a lot of profit. We have another example here. Story of another entrepreneur, Sushma the toy maker. Okay. Sushma is the mother of two young kids, as you can see in this image over here. These are symbolic images, okay, just to give you a picture in mind. A typical Indian mother and a single mother of two young kids. She saw some parents giving their children mobile phones to play with while others gave plastic toys. These you might have seen tea sets and all. which are normally available in the market. People buy them, and these days toys is something which has almost become obsolete. Earlier, when we were small, when we were young, we didn't have mobile phones. So we used to rely on different types of board games. Okay, we had Brain Vita, we had Chinese checkers. Okay, we had block building games, board games. So various types of board games were there, which would enable us to even Monopoly. So these games would increase our intellect, and it would also help our this would give some exercise to the brains. But nowadays, because of the mobiles, most children, even small kids, parents, just in order to get rid of their children, they just give them the mobile phone, and they keep playing with that, which is harmful for their health. Both of these are bad for the kids and the environment, obviously, because too much of radiation is also emitted from our mobile phones. Okay, we cannot see that, but that slowly causes a lot of disruption in our brains. So she wanted her children to enjoy playing with toys which were good for their brain and did not cause health problems. So she came up with the idea of making wooden toys, which are not only fun to play with, but also help kids learn as they play with them. So you can see wooden toys, they look quite trendy, they look wonderful, and even children can play with them, like these block games. Okay, they can play with them and not only play, but they will also learn in the process. She made a few toys and started sending pictures to her friends and family in the hope that they would buy it. So they were excited to buy these new types of toys from her. Her best friend told her that the toy she had bought had sharp edges and had hurt her child. So in the beginning, because Sushma had just started with this, she was new to this field. So she did not keep in mind that she should always round the edges of the toys. And because of which some kids also they got hurt. So she immediately changed the design to soft edges. So you could see these most of these wooden toys, they have soft polished edges so that they don't hurt anybody. Very in the beginning, she had a very few clients, very few customers, because people normally don't like to change their ways. Okay, she made huge efforts to persuade her customers to buy her toys, specifying the excellent quality of her products. So she worked really very hard. She worked hard on promoting her toys. Okay, and then she did not give up and tried to understand the buying pattern of parents as customers. So her business was not running very smoothly, as you can see, but she had that patience. She did not give up, and she spent some time in learning about the buying behavior of her customers. What type of toys parents prefer for their children. Soon she realized that people prefer to buy toys for their kids from established and permanent shops. See, this thing will always be there. Whenever we purchase something, we normally try to purchase branded goods because their quality is best. And um, as per toys also, people mostly prefer buying it from malls or from established shops rather than from people who are sitting on the roadside and selling these wooden toys. So she made efforts to partner with different toy shops. Now, what she did was that because people wanted to buy toys from these shops, so she just contacted a few of these shops. So, like what she did was they made a kind of an agreement. They kind of signed a contract where she would be selling her toys to these shops. These shops would sell the would add some more margin to it and would sell it to the people, and in this process both the shop as well as Sushma is going to be benefited financially. She also created a website to sell her products online. After 2 years, she had to endure this hardship for 2 years. After 2 years, the demand for her toys increased, and soon she was selling her toys not only in India but also in other parts of the world. You know this Lego, the Lego bricks, which are very famous building bricks, which are available. It also started like
Yes,
this
ma'am.
only. The person who created the Lego bricks, he also started making toys, and he used to create nice wooden toys. So in the beginning, the demand was very less, but soon people realized that his designs are wonderful, and he started creating. He created the brand that is Lego. So I'll show you a video. There is a nice inspirational video on that. Someday I will show it to you, maybe in the next class. So you can see an entrepreneur needs to have some basic sets of qualities. So we will understand those qualities with this example. First is patience. Okay. Success cannot be achieved in one day. As you can see in this small image, what do you see? There is a small mouse hole, and this cat is waiting for the mouse to come out so that she catches it. Okay. So this is what? Patience. So now Sushma was patient. She did not lose patience. She did not start complaining that, oh my God, my toys are not getting sold, I'll better quit this. She did not quit. She had patience. Positivity, an entrepreneur has to think positively even when he or she takes a big risk. She knew that she is taking a big risk, but she was positive that people would soon understand why these wooden toys are better than mobile phones. So she did not lose that. Hardworking, never giving up, and perseverance. You can see in this image, there's a small ant, and there are three cookies on its back. So it is like an ant can carry 3 times its weight, right? So it is like every new business goes through failures, and therefore an entrepreneur needs to work hard till it becomes successful. So you have to be, you have to work hard. You should never give up, and there should be perseverance, that is constantly working in the direction, constantly trying out and working hard in the direction till a person succeeds. So Sushma also kept on finding new ways and means. She would survey the customers, she would survey the parents, she changed the design of her toys, she collaborated with the nearby toy shops. Okay. And also she created a website. So she kept putting in a lot of efforts before her business started yielding. Confidence. An entrepreneur needs to be very confident and take decisions about their business. A weak minded person will not be, or a spineless person cannot take up any enterprise, cannot be an entrepreneur. You have to be highly confident and bold in order to take bold decisions regarding your business. Sushma also took some bold decisions. First of all, her idea of creating a toy store or wooden toys, that was a very bold decision. Second bold decision was to partner with the huge established toy shops. So she took some bold decisions. Open to trial and error. Trial and error means do something, commit mistake, again try out. Okay, continue this till the work is done. Okay, जब तक आपको result नहीं मिल जाए तब तक try करते रहो. Trial and error method, right? So an entrepreneur needs to be open to new ideas and try them without fear or failure. So of course Sushma's idea was very new and a very bold and daring step which she took, and she kept on making changes. One thing would fail, she would again resort to the new idea. Okay, she created the toy. Some people send her a feedback that children are getting hurt because of pointy edges. So she quickly changed the design and made it into smooth edges, right? So, and then it was not like all the problems were solved for her at that time. New set of problems kept cropping up every now and then, but she was patient enough to keep trying new ways and means. Creativity and innovation. An entrepreneur should be able to see a problem from different perspectives and come up with original and creative solutions. Like the case of Rani, who is also a tea seller, but she thought that instead of selling the traditional tea, why can't she just try to give different options to people? So that is one thing which she saw. She saw a new thing. She innovated something in that usual traditional business. They should also be able to recognize an opportunity in a problem and find an innovative solution. Self-employed versus entrepreneur. One must note here that a self-employed person may not be an entrepreneur if he or she does not have these qualities. An entrepreneur should be willing to take a calculated risk. This is an important point, students, and is always open to new ideas to make his or her business grows. So an entrepreneur should always be open to new ideas, should always be ready to accept changes as and when they come, and also to create new things every time. A person who does not take risks, is not open to new ideas, and is running the business only to earn a steady source of income is not an entrepreneur. Okay. So if you are just carrying out with a traditional business, भाई सालों से चला आ रहा है तो हम भी वही काम कर रहे हैं, हमें और कुछ नहीं पता. So this is what a simple self-employed person or a simple businessman who doesn't want to create something new, right? Now we start with session 4, distinguishing characteristics of entrepreneurship and wage employment. In the last session, we learned that entrepreneurship means organizing, developing, and managing a business venture along with any of its risks in order to make profit. Entrepreneur takes risks to make a profit. Let us now try to understand the meaning of the word profit and risk before we understand the various characteristics of entrepreneurship. So, concept of profit. Messrs. Ram Prasad owns a sweet shop in a remote village, right? So he has, now what he does is he buys for one sweet, one piece, or for 1 kilogram, the cost which he incurs is, the amount of money which he invests is, suppose 35 rupees, right? And when he sells, this is the cost price, CP, and the selling price for that 1 kilo of sweets, suppose it is 40 rupees. So how much, this is the selling price, and we know what is profit? Selling price minus cost price. If selling price is greater than cost price, then profit will always be there. So he makes a profit of 5 rupees per kg, right? So this is a simple example which I have given. So this is profit. Concept of risk. Now what is risk taking? A situation where the result is not known and could lead to a loss. For example, somebody starts with breakfast service. Suppose today I want to start with, I lose my job here and I have to start something. I would start breakfast services. What I need to do is I will invest some money into it. That investment will be made from my pocket itself. Like for example, I need to buy bread. Suppose my month's cost of bread is going to come to something around 270 rupees. Okay. Then I need butter. Suppose it comes to 100 rupees. So I have to spend how much? 370 rupees here. Then I think that, okay, people prefer cheese these days. So another 200 rupees added to it. So how much am I spending? I am risking how much money? 570. So this 570 is my risk which I am taking. Okay, it's not, there is no guarantee that I would get this back or I would recover this back unless and until someone buys it. I'm never going to get it back, right? So this is a calculated risk. I'm calculating, I'm doing some calculations. At first I will start only with one type of food, that is food item, that is sandwiches. Okay, because I think I can take a risk of 570 for 1 month. This is a very basic example which I am giving you, right? Taking calculated risks. Entrepreneurship is not without risks, and entrepreneurs are not afraid of taking calculated risks. Taking risks can lead to failure, but failure is acceptable. Entrepreneurs continue their course of action till they succeed. So you have already seen this in the case of Soumya. Failure doesn't stop an entrepreneur from trying out new things. They will always try to change the course or change the way or make new ways in order to earn profit. Some characteristics of entrepreneurship: ability to take up risks, believe in hard work and discipline, adaptable and flexible to achieve the goals of enhancing quality and customer satisfaction. Like you created something like what Sushma did. First, she created the toys. She sold it to some family and friends. Okay, one of the friends gave a feedback. It was a negative feedback that her children got hurt. So what she did, she quickly made some changes into the design. Okay, so you have to be that flexible in your approach. Knowledge of the product and services and their need or demand in the market. Firstly, whatever you are selling, you should have complete knowledge about that, and whether it is needed in the society or not, whether there is demand for that product in the society or not. Financial literacy and money management skills. You should know how to make a budget. Okay, investment, how much money you are investing, how much you can save, what are the various banking tasks you should know, you should be aware about that. What are the costs being incurred? So these various things you have to have. These come under what? Financial literacy. So you have to learn about that also, and you should also know money management skills. These are some of the basic characteristics of entrepreneurship. Effective planning and execution. Yes, planning is also very important. Planning is needed at every step of our work. Have you ever observed a sudden closure of a shop, store, or business in your neighborhood? Why did the business fail? Was he or she selling low quality goods or services? Was he or she selling products not required in the neighborhood? Was the right opportunity not spotted? What was the risk he or she had taken? I will give you one example for this. I have seen one such sudden close of a shop in my locality just below my apartment itself. They used to, it was a lady, she used to have a small matching shop. Like matching shop means she used to sell all sorts of clothing material, then some accessories over there. Accessories like hair bands, clutches, some hair clips, nice bags, okay, and some makeup items also. So these various things she used to sell, some accessories and clothing. But the thing was, her business failed. She had to ultimately close her shop and put it on rent because it was her purchase shop itself. So she had to put it on rent. She rented it to someone else. Was he or she selling low quality goods and services? Answer is yes. Her goods and services I have personally used, and I felt that she used to sell substandard goods. That is, any clothing material did not sustain for more than 2 months. The quality was so bad that after 2 or 3 washes, the fiber of the cloth would start becoming very weak, and it would like firstly it would tear up on its own, just a little bit of pressure and it would tear. And also the stitching was also not very good. So I and most of her hair bands and accessories, they were also of low quality. They would break with a slight pressure, and at using many of those, even the pin would come out just after 1 or 2 uses. Was he or she selling products not required? Yes, this was also the factor. Many people didn't require these things. Most requirements which I have noticed in my neighborhood is basically grocery items. Okay, grocery items, the items of daily use, vegetables, fruits, milk, these were the basic items which were necessary. Was the right opportunity not spotted? Yes. She did not try to figure out what is the demand of the people in the neighborhood. What was the risk she didn't take? She didn't want to take any risk. That was the main thing, by because of which her shop had to be closed. So next is wage employment. Now, what is wage employment? In case of wage employment, there are always two parties. First is the employer and second is the employee. So employer is the person who provides the employment. Usually this person is a businessman, an entrepreneur, and is a self-employed person. And employee is the one who works for the employer. So now we have employees, also we have workers also. Workers are the people who work on a daily wage basis. They are mostly laborers and belong to the lowest hierarchy in a company. And employees are those who get a monthly salary, and usually they do desk job or some type of job which requires a lot of traveling. The wage employment does not involve too much risk, but in entrepreneurship involves taking certain amount of calculated risks. If I am an entrepreneur, I'll have to worry about my company. I have to worry about my enterprise, which I have said. I have to keep it running no matter at what cost, whatever cost I incur. And I have to also take care of the employees, the people who are working for me. So in that way, I'll be taking care of my employees, and whether my business is running or not, I have to make sure that they continue getting their salaries and wages. So employees are in no means, employees don't need to worry about any type of risks. Uh, they have employees don't need to worry about the risk taking part of the business. But obviously if the business is not running smoothly, then there is always a fear of the employees losing their jobs because of cost reduction in the company, which happened a lot during this COVID-19 pandemic. Many people lost their jobs because of the lockdown. The production was stopped and most of the businesses were closed down for a period of more than 1 month at a stretch, and this caused a lot of disruption of the economy. The economy went down, and also because of this, there was no inflow of income in the company. The company did not earn any profit, and they had to keep going. They had to still pay their taxes, they had to still pay their employees. So firstly, these companies resorted to reduction in the salaries because they hardly had money to pay to the employees. And secondly, many of the employees were also they also lost their jobs because the companies couldn't afford to have many employees. However, the continuity of the service in case of wage employment depends on the terms and conditions laid down in the contract between the two parties. Yes, whenever somebody gets a job, whenever someone clears an interview for a job, then that person is provided with a service contract. It could be for a period of 1 year, or it could be for a period of 2 years, and there are certain terms and conditions which are agreed upon by both the parties, that is employer and the employee, and to which they have to adhere to. And many a times it happens, most of the times the terms and conditions are in favor of the employer itself. So, and also sometimes the relationship between the employer and employee. Entrepreneurship and wage employment, where wage employment means working for someone to earn money. Cook in a restaurant versus street food vendor. So we will just see another example over here. Cooking in a restaurant, that a cook in a restaurant and a street food vendor. there are certain things which we need to compare between the two. Number one, how does the person make money through the activity? So, a cook in a restaurant gets a monthly salary, whereas a street food vendor will be a person who normally is a self employed person. So, it will completely depend upon. One sec. So, this person will be earning money in the form of the profit which he earns, the cost at which he buys all the materials, and then the price at which he sells, he will be making some profit per customer, and that at the end of the day will completely add up to the profit made. So profit in a month, whatever he makes, that is the way he makes money. Second one, is this person solving a community problem? The over here, if we talk about a cook, I don't think a cook solves a community problem, but a street food vendor, it is also, it may or may not be. Why? Because a street food vendor, if he is really serving the purpose related to a particular problem in a society, like there are no food stalls in the society and many people rely on food stalls for breakfast, as these are mostly college students who rent rooms and live in the hostels, so they don't have adequate facilities to create to prepare breakfast each morning. In that case, it is yes that he is solving a particular problem. But in case if there are lot many vendors and the vendors are not actually solving some problem or they are not needed, so they may not solve the problem. Third point, did this person sell something and make profit? No, because the thing is, he is not the one who is selling, he is only cooking and he will be getting a salary in the month, so he doesn't sell. But here it is yes. Do they use the resources or knowledge that they have to make the most of the money? So here answer is yes. A cook is definitely a person who is a cook in a restaurant, is usually a chef who has studied hotel management or has taken up a course in cooking or cooking classes, and that person is a highly trained person, whereas a street food vendor is not a very trained person. But still yes, that person also uses some resources, yes. Knowledge, obviously he would be having some basic knowledge about doing something or preparing some dishes, so I say that it is yes. Do they use innovation and creativity? In case of a chef or a professional cook, it is yes. But in case of a street food vendor, mostly it is no. Mostly no, because they are not entrepreneurs. They are just self-employed persons which follow a definite path and just for the purpose of earning money and keep a steady source of income. Does the activity involve taking risk for earning money? Here it is no. Absolutely, he doesn't take risk. And in case of a street food vendor, it is yes. Is this person an entrepreneur? Answer is no. But here it could be yes also, but mostly it is no. Why? Because we have seen street food vendors in our locality. They normally follow one type of a task and they don't try to innovate anything. But yes, the answer could be yes sometimes, that there had been examples of chefs who used to work in five-star hotels and restaurants, but because of some reason they leave their job and they use all the knowledge and resources in providing gourmet style food in a food truck to people. So that case we can say that yes, they are putting in some efforts, they are taking a calculated risk, and they are also using innovation in their work. Benefits of entrepreneurship. Do what you are interested in. Entrepreneurship allows you to start and do something you like using your hobbies and skills. Work for yourself and not for others. Yes, we can see a difference between employee and an entrepreneur. An employee has work to do, something to get away from, serious effort, he has to put serious effort, support, something they deserve, income, something to be received immediately. Work, and for an entrepreneur, it just becomes different. Work is something to be excited about, whereas employee is like he is not working just for the purpose, he is not working for his pleasure. He is, most employees, they just work for the purpose of earning money. Serious effort for an entrepreneur is something to do all the time. So an entrepreneur is a person who is busy all the time and is usually a workaholic person who loves work, whereas an employee, something to do for a short period of time. An employee usually sticks to a 9 to 5 schedule, usually, that is, he wants a fixed time during which he would come, he would work, and then he would leave. Support for an employee is something they deserve, whereas support for an entrepreneur is something they create. So, entrepreneur creates the sources of support, and he is the person who usually provides employment to many people, whereas for an employee, support is something which they want from their employer. Income for an entrepreneur is something to be earned later. Yes, entrepreneur will first work hard, will invest money and effort and idea and take risk, and then later on when his idea becomes successful, he starts earning money. Whereas for an employee, some income is something which is to be received immediately. So these are the differences. So you work for others, you work for an entrepreneur works for himself, not for others. As an entrepreneur, you can work for yourself and not for someone else. You can decide the kind of work you like to do and how you want to do it. Make profits for yourself. So you can, if you just learn the trade, then the secrets of the trade, you can earn as much money as you want. The more risk you take, the more is the amount of profit you gain from it. Usually, the larger the risk, the bigger could be the profit. So students, with this, we end session 3 and session 4. In our next lesson, we will be taking up session 5 and session